So let's take a look at the Halton Regional Police, their YouTube channels. They turn off their comments, which, transparency, why are their comments off? They have a fraud investigator. Maybe they should begin by investigating themselves instead of trying to cover up.
The thin blue line is often presented as a symbol of honor for fallen law enforcement officers and a tribute to those who protect civilians. But is this just a facade? When push comes to shove, do these officers prioritize their own protection over the public's safety? Are their egos too inflated to serve justly? And where does the police chief stand? Does he put the public first, or does he shield his officers even when they break laws meant to protect the very citizens they serve? In my experience, I've seen how a minor intoxication fine with Wayne was twisted into a fabricated criminal act where we were set up. Officers falsely throughout that day claimed, in the early morning, before the road offense, tongue-tied, falsely claimed I was suicidal and homicidal, alleging I said one of them bashed my head into a windshield. Blatant lies that my video evidence directly contradicts. By the way, I have anxiety and depression. And I actually know a retired RCMP officer that has it as well. Does it make you a criminal? No. But once they hear that, they want to turn you into a criminal to meet their own needs. I tried reporting this to Lika, the police station, and even Chief Tanner's head office, but faced nothing but resistance and attempts to silence me. In my last call, a female constable mocked me, laughing as she said, "Do you really think you're going to report one of us?" and hung up. Determined to seek justice, I filed a human rights case, which is still, I'm still waiting to hear more about it, and when, I can go and present my case. Despite proving detailed evidence, because I have CC'd Chief Tanner at his private email and their lawyer, they have both failed to respond as yet to date. They likely hoped their false statements would intimidate Wayne and myself into accepting their fabricated narrative. But my time-stamped videos and their own photos prove it was a setup and that they lie. And blatantly. My footage captured a walkie-talkie in the initial first frame of my video, which mysteriously disappeared in a later photo taken by Officer Underwood after Wayne was released. And it was then taken after we told her. Then Sergeant, way after actually thinking about it as well. Then Seargent FIrono returned long after my truck was towed, hours, right? We're talking 4 or more hours, after my truck was towed that was in the impound, and restaged it, but this time he put the walkie-talkie back. Now, there was no opened cans of beers. Okay? What the Wayne had was a tray with beers at the back behind the passenger seat of unopened beers. What they did was they opened up the beer that they found at the back, and they put one in the front and then staged the setup photo. When I did pick up my truck, the tray of beers were actually on the passenger seat at the back. Now, they claimed he had been drinking, which they let Wayne out, didn't tell us that he would still show her how long it takes for alcohol to come out your system. They let him out, which according to a retired police officer, Shannon, that I spoke to, they are not supposed to let you out while you're still intoxicated. And they have hidden that information by not, and we have the letter, by not allowing us the freedom of information, which shows they never took, also while he was being held at the police station in the morning, a sobriety test. They just let him out. So, or else he would have never been behind the wheel, and I would have let him if I knew he would still be showing that. Now, Sergeant FIrono also falsely accused me of swearing and calling 911 in front of him. Yet my phone records show I never called 911 in front of him. And he said that I was calling 911 during the time I was videoing. Well, your phone camera, if you test it out, cannot be videoing and calling 911 at the same time. I was contacting after Underwood left with Wayne in the cruiser. I was contacting the Halton police station to ask them how in the world could this happen, which anybody would have done, and why they in fact released Wayne while he was still intoxicated without warning us. The lies from these 4 officers on that day are numerous and easily disproven with my digital evidence, revealing how effortlessly they deceive and how dangerous they are to the public. An individual named Ken, who is from their organization, I do have to emailed me offering to cover the impound fees for the dogs if I dropped the human rights case, claiming they would not investigate otherwise before I drop it. Does that make sense to you? I have to drop it before they investigate it. That alone says to me what sort of corruption and underhandedness is going on. They assume the public is ignorant of their rights, forcing us to accept their role as judge, jury, and prosecutor. In Canada, when police corruption is suspected, the police chief is obligated to report it to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who investigate it and act against misconduct. Chief Tanner, despite being copied on all my evidence, has remained silent, likely hoping to keep this from going public. Which, by the way, FIrono was quite upset and put that in Wayne's disclosure that my video, I said I was going to go public with it and put it on social media. Well, here we are, Sergeant FIrono. It's your videos and everything is public, is on social media. And guess what? Videoing, whether or not you like it yourself, is not against the law. But the truth cannot be buried, and my evidence speaks louder than their lies. Now, something else I want to note. In the disclosure, FIrono and Underwood both said, we saw this alleged beer can in the passenger's cup holder. Really? How dumb do they take the public for? May I ask FIrono and Underwood a question? How come if I'm in the passenger side and the beer can is there in the passenger beer holder? You know I was filming, so you couldn't make up anything at that time while I was filming. But as you know the law, why did you not then do the same thing to me and handcuff me and take me for a sobriety test? Because as you know, it is illegal to drink even as a passenger in a vehicle. Your lies are breaking down. And I am going to strongly suggest to Chief Tanner to do the right thing here and protect the public from your officers. Okay, guys, just to end this here, next video we'll have an update on another suggest what the Crown put forth, which also this way they hide it, they cut it off, shove it underneath the carpet. Don't have to make FIrono or Underwood or any other constable that was involved the early morning before answerable. So think about it. They shove it underneath the carpet and they go on to set up other people. Is this right? Absolutely not. Anyways, in our fight, because looking at what happened to us, I firmly believe that we should all be using our rights to videotape our interactions with the police officers, as well as always ask for your freedom of information, because you'll be surprised at what they come up with on that. So for 1 year, and let's see, actually our first giveaway, because we want to make it on the anniversary of when we met with these dubious cops, May 13th of last year. So on the 13th of every month, we're going to give away a body cam. It may be a different body cam depending on what we could get from the suppliers and what's available, and it'll be sent to you directly from them. I'll leave my email, so once you're the winner, just contact us with that address and I'll have it sent out to you. Sometimes it'll be body cams, and sometimes it'll be like a home security video camera for outside. And you'll see on my upcoming video why it is important as well. And you might consider having one outside your house while dealing with certain elements of the police force. So like, comment, subscribe, make a comment, and like I said, every month we'll announce the winner and we'll have it sent out to you, because it's really important and it's really close to my heart and Wayne's heart in having justice for all of us.